Hey yo, what's good fam? Welcome back to the channel, and today we breaking down the most diabolical intro in hip-hop history. Okay. Kendrick Lamar's Meet the Grams.
Oh, let's go.
Man, this joint right here, it's not just a diss, it's a whole psychological thriller.
Kendrick dropped?
Kendrick Lamar just dropped.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
A chess move, a therapy session, and a funeral all rolled into one. No cap, this is the type of intro that make the whole culture stop and say, yo, did he really just do that?
Right.
So let's set the scene. It's May 3rd, 2024. The internet on fire. Drake just dropped Family Matters, a big sprawling diss track trying to end the conversation, right? He got his mama on the intro giving a warning, a plea, like, don't go there, son. And what Drake do? He go there.
Yeah.
He say the word 37 times, straight up defiant, middle finger to Kendrick's demand on Euphoria that Drake stop saying it, stop pretending, stop performing blackness. Twitter going crazy, IG melting down, Drake stands celebrating like he finally went bad. But then, 20 minutes later, the world stops. Meet the Grams drops, and what happens in the next 60 seconds? That's the most cold-blooded, diabolical intro the game ever seen. Let me tell you why. First off, let's talk about the timing. 20 minutes, bruh. Not 20 hours, not 20 days, 20 minutes. Before you even press play, that's the first act of psychological warfare.
Crazy.
Literally, not even an hour.
These niggas is not playing with each other. I was about to watch a movie.
This is a crazy night, bro.
I'm literally uploading Drake's diss right now.
Family Matters dropped 57
He produced
minutes
this
ago.
with his mama on it, multiple beat switches, shots at Kendrick, Rick Ross, whoever, and Kendrick responds in 20 minutes? That's impossible, unless he already knew it was coming. Kendrick had Family Matters before the world did. He already wrote, recorded, and had his response ready to upload.
Yeah,
he was just waiting for Drake to make his move. The moment Drake pulled the trigger, Kendrick was already behind him with something way worse than a bullet. There's a mole in OVO, gotta be. Someone close, someone trusted. And before the song even starts, Drake and his camp know, we compromised. That's the first layer of genius. The timing itself is an attack.
Do you think Kendrick responds though?
Yeah. If he doesn't, I understand too, bro. That's the thing.
When?
When?
Yeah.
Shit, that nigga respond tomorrow morning.
How about right now?
Did he? Don't do this shit to me, dog. What? What the fuck? No. Play that shit. When did you put that on? I didn't even peep that.
It was minimized.
And it's 6 minutes too? Nigga, play that shit.
He dropped it. He dropped it like 15, 20 minutes after Drake dropped his shit. This is what I saw.
That's crazy.
Oh my God, Kendrick Lamar is a sick man. The cover art for both of these songs today were pictures of Drake's collection from inside of his house. Somebody really isn't the yo.
And so
he has
dropped
receipts.
When did you put that on the screen, dog?
What do you mean?
How did I not see you put that shit on the screen? Did you close something?
Bro, it was minimized from before you got here.
Oh, so that's why the shit was saying there's too much energy.
Yeah.
I was like, why is it? What the?
Yeah, Pete. Let me show you. Now I can show you everything.
Bro. First of all, this shit's called Meet the Grams.
Yeah, Meet the Grams.
Which is crazy.
And the other shit, Drake shit was called Family Matters.
I'm disappointed.
Bro.
I'm about to hear this nigga die, bro.
I'm sorry, bro. I had to do it to you. It's for the content, dog. I had to do it for you. The man was literally just sitting there waiting. And then he just...
Public post. If he says anything in response to what Drake just said on Family Matters,
no way.
Then it will be even more proof that someone in his camp is working for Kendrick.
Like, oh, he gonna say this.
Yeah. Kendrick warned him too. He said, bro, that's something you don't want to do.
Like, hey, now let's get to the music, bro. Let's get to the music.
Aye.
It says, I see your moves before you make them. You fighting blind, I got night vision. That's what make this intro different from every diss before it. The psychological warfare starts before the music even plays. Now, let's talk about the beat. You press play and you hear
Let's go, man.
Not aggressive drums, not triumphant horns, not 808s ready for war. Nah, you hear a funeral. A minimal, haunting piano loop like it's playing in an empty church at 3 a.m.
Right.
Slow, deliberate rhythm, heartbeat slowing down, dying. The production is sparse, unsettling, gaps in the music, silence, space for dread to creep in. This ain't a battle rap beat, this a horror film soundtrack. Kendrick ain't meeting Drake on the battlefield, he inviting him to the morgue. Every other diss track in history been about dominance through aggression, volume, energy. I'm louder, I'm harder, I'm better. But this is dominance through dread. The beat tells you something terrible is about to happen, and you can't stop it. It's the musical equivalent of a slow motion car crash. You see it coming, you can't look away, and you know somebody's about to die. Before Kendrick even opens his mouth, he already set the tone. This ain't competition, this is execution. And then he speaks, not raps, speaks. Calm, measured, almost gentle. Dear Adonis, 2 words and everything changes.
No! Dear Adonis.
Not a letter to his son, bro.
That's a hell of a way to start it.
That's diabolical.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father.
Yes, over still.
Yeah, it's like, man, it's.
I'm sorry that man is your father.
Yeah, it's done. It's a done bun. I'm talking honey glazed done bun.
Sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest.
Oh, no!
Takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive.
Oh, this shit kind of eerie. I ain't gonna cap.
This beat sounds so dark, bro.
This beat is scaring the shit out of me.
I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom. I'm sorry that you gotta grow up and then stand behind.
In all of hip-hop beef, from Pac and Biggie to Nas and Jay to M and everybody, there's never been a moment like this. Kendrick ain't talking to Drake. He talking to Drake's 6-year-old son. Directly. By name. In a letter format. This is the nuclear option. The forbidden move. The line nobody crosses. And Kendrick don't just cross it. He sits down on the other side and gets comfortable. I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me.
But the thing is, if you actually just study your opponent, every time Drake goes into a battle, he oversteps his boundaries. And what gets him slapped back into his place is when you overstep your boundaries back and expose him. Same thing with Joe Budden. He just exposed him and slapped him right back in his place. Pusha T, he overstepped his boundaries talking about his wife. And then Pusha T exposed him, pop, slapped him right back in his place. Meek Mill really couldn't overstep his boundaries that much because he really didn't know that much about him. And I don't think, think about it. But anytime he got slapped back in his place, it was because somebody was like, all right. So I think Kendrick already knew he was going to do that. And he was prepared to overstep his boundaries and expose him. If you love these breakdowns, make sure you drop a like, comment, and sub. Hit that hype button. Let's get right back into it, y'all.
Be honest. That's surgical. I'm sorry. An apology. Soft. Empathetic.
Right.
Not attacking Adonis. Comforting him.
Right.
That man. Not your father. Not Drake. That man. Distant. Clinical. Like Drake a stranger. So inadequate he don't even deserve the title. Let me be honest. Like a teacher. A counselor. A family friend worried about the kid. Then the accusation. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive. Responsive, not absent, not cruel, not neglectful. Unresponsive implies Drake is there, but don't engage, don't answer, don't respond to his son's needs. This ain't a diss, it's a diagnosis. Dr. Lamar, child patient, father's condition. That's why it's the most diabolical intro in hip-hop history.
Yeah.
Kendrick broke every rule of engagement, but did it in the gentlest, most caring voice imaginable. He weaponized empathy. Now, to really get the genius, you gotta look at the Pusha T blueprint.
Easy money. It's about to be a surgical summer.
Keep with the facts. You are hiding a child. Let that boy come home. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border patrol. Adonis is your son, and he deserves more than an Adidas press run. That's real. Love that baby, respect that girl. Forget she's a porn star, let her be your world. Yeah.
May 2018, Pusha drops The Story of Adidon, reveals Drake got a secret son, Adonis, a child Drake been hiding. Pusha says Drake was planning to use Adonis as a marketing gimmick for Adidas. It's devastating. Drake forced to confirm Adonis's existence, but the damage is permanent. Pusha didn't attack Drake's rap skills, he attacked his character, his manhood, his fatherhood. That wound never healed. Fast forward to 2024,
Crazy.
Kendrick been watching, learning, studying the blueprint.
Right.
But here's what made Kendrick's approach more diabolical. Pusha exposed the secret child. Kendrick speaks directly to him. Pusha attacked Drake for hiding Adonis. Kendrick questions if Drake is even present for Adonis now. Pusha was aggressive, confrontational. Kendrick is calm, empathetic, almost loving. Pusha threw a punch. Kendrick performing surgery. Pusha exposed the wound. Kendrick pouring salt in it. Slow, methodical, eye contact, soothing voice. This is the refinement of a 6-year-old strategy. Pusha's approach, perfected, and it's all in the intro. By the time we pass the first verse, Kendrick already done something no one in hip-hop history has done. Positioned himself as the moral authority in his opponent's family dynamic. Not as a rival rapper, as a concerned adult. That is diabolical. Now let's talk about Drake's defensive position. On Family Matters, he opens with his mama's voice, protective, family values. Then he says, "You mentioned my seed, now deal with his dad. I gotta go bad, I gotta go bad." He referencing Michael Jackson's Bad, the transformation, the edge, the danger. He's been comparing himself to MJ for years. "I'm one away from Michael," he rapped on First Person Shooter. And Kendrick been using MJ references to mock Drake on 616 in LA, on Like That, turning Drake's idol into a weapon against him. So when Drake says, "I gotta go bad," he think he reclaiming the narrative, channeling MJ's dangerous energy, warning Kendrick, "You crossed the line by mentioning my son, so now I'm unleashing my full power. Deal with his dad." He invoking his role as a father as a threat, as if being Adonis's father makes him more dangerous, more untouchable, more motivated. But here's why this intro is so diabolical. Kendrick don't care. Kendrick's whole thesis is that Drake ain't a good father. So threatening people with "deal with the father" means nothing when the accusation is you ain't responsive as a father. Drake walked into a rhetorical trap. He tried to use fatherhood as a shield. Kendrick turned it into a target. And he did it in the intro. By the time Drake's camp even finished listening to Meet the Grams, they realized, we can't respond to this. Any defense of Drake's parenting sound desperate. Any attack on Kendrick for crossing the line missed the point. Kendrick already won in the intro. That's diabolical. Let's address the other battle here, the N-word war. Identity is collateral damage. On Euphoria, Kendrick said, "We don't want to hear you say nigga no more. Stop." Direct challenge to Drake's identity. You not black enough. You Canadian. You don't have the right. It's cultural gatekeeping and it's effective. Drake's response? He said the word 37 times on Family Matters. Defiance. Rebellion. You don't get to tell me who I am. But here's where Kendrick's intro shines. He don't even engage with it. He don't mention the N-word battle. He don't argue about Drake's identity. He just moves past it. While Drake fighting about a word, Kendrick fighting about character. While Drake trying to prove his blackness, Kendrick questioning his manhood. While Drake performing identity, Kendrick examining fatherhood. It's a masterclass in prioritization. Kendrick let Drake waste energy on a symbolic battle while he goes straight for the real weakness. He established this hierarchy of importance in the introduction by addressing Adonis instead of Drake's use of language. It says, "You can say whatever words you want. I'm talking to your son about whether you're present for him." One battle is about performance. The other is about substance. Kendrick chose substance in the intro. Diabolical. Now let's talk about the flow. Weaponized calm. Kendrick ain't rapping. He's speaking, slowly, clearly, measured, almost conversational, like he reading a letter out loud. This is a choice, a calculated, brilliant choice. Traditional battle rap is about aggression, speed, wordplay, punchlines. You trying to out-rap your opponent, dazzle with technique. Kendrick abandons all that. Why? Cause this ain't about impressing you. It's about making you uncomfortable.
Think about
when
it.
someone raps fast, you can get lost in the rhythm, vibe to it, appreciate the skill without fully processing the content. But when someone speaks slowly, clearly, deliberately, there's nowhere to hide. You gotta hear every word, every accusation,
Think about
every
it.
implication. The flow, or lack thereof, forces you to confront the content. You can't escape into the musicality. You trapped with the meaning. Combined with that haunting minimal beat, that funeral procession production, you not bouncing to this. You not nodding your head. You sitting still, uncomfortable,
Listening.
anxious. That's the point. This is psychological warfare disguised as spoken word, and it's all in the intro. Most rappers use the intro to hype you up. Kendrick uses the intro to fill you with dread, to make you understand this is not entertainment. This is an intervention. That choice of flow, that weaponized calm, is what makes this intro so diabolical. Cause violence is expected. Aggression is normal in battle rap. But this measured, gentle, almost therapeutic tone while delivering devastating accusations, that's terrifying. Let's talk about the titles. Even the name of this song is part of the diabolical intro. Drake called his track Family Matters, possessive, defensive, his family, his business, setting a boundary. Kendrick called his track Meet the Grams. Think about that. Meet the Grams. Like he introducing them. Like Drake ain't properly introduced his own family to the world. Like Kendrick got more authority over the Graham family narrative than Drake do.
Think about
It's
it.
a hostile takeover, a coup. Kendrick saying, you don't control this story anymore. I do. And he executes this takeover in 20 minutes. Before Family Matters can even trend, before the conversation can settle around Drake's narrative, Kendrick hijacks the entire discourse immediately. And the method of hijacking is just as diabolical as the speed. He don't respond to Drake's bars. He don't defend himself against Drake's accusations. He ignored them entirely. Instead, he addresses Drake's family directly. He speaks to Adonis. He speaks to Drake's parents in later verses. He speaks to the people Drake is supposedly defending. And in doing so, he makes Drake irrelevant in his own family story. It's not about what Drake said on Family Matters. It's about what Kendrick's saying to the Grams. Drake wanted a rap battle. Kendrick turned it into a family intervention where Drake ain't even invited to speak. And this power move is established in the intro, in the title, in the first address. Dear Adonis. By centering the child instead of the rapper, Kendrick already shifted the entire frame of the conflict.
Right.
This is not MC versus MC. This is concerned adult versus unresponsive father. And that reframing happens in the intro. Diabolical. But here's the final layer of diabolical genius in this intro. The 20-minute response time don't just prove Kendrick had advanced knowledge. It plants a seed that will never stop growing. Paranoia. Who told him? Who leaked it? Who in OVO, in Drake's inner circle, in his trusted team, is feeding information to the enemy? Was it someone in the studio? Someone at the label? Someone Drake considers a friend? And now, for the rest of this beef, for the rest of Drake's career, he gotta wonder, will Kendrick know about my next move before I make it? That's the permanent damage of this intro.
Right.
Even if there ain't actually a mole, even if Kendrick got lucky or had a different source or made an educated guess, the perception of a mole is enough, because perception is reality in psychological warfare. And right now, the perception is that Kendrick got eyes inside OVO, ears in the room, someone close to Drake who's closer to Kendrick. That destroys trust. It creates suspicion. It makes Drake second guess his own team. And it all stems from the timing of this intro. 20 minutes, impossibly fast. Perfectly calibrated to create maximum paranoia. Kendrick didn't just respond to Drake, he infected Drake's organization with doubt. And that infection began the moment Meet the Grams appeared online, 20 minutes after Family Matters, before the first word was even spoken. The diabolical nature of this intro extends beyond the music itself. It's in the metadata, the timestamp, the implication. Kendrick turned the release date and time into a weapon. That's why this is the most diabolical intro in hip-hop history. In May 2018, Pusha T revealed Drake had a secret son. In May 2024, Kendrick Lamar opened his diss track by apologizing to that son for who his father is. 6 years, same wound, but a different kind of knife. Pusha exposed, Kendrick comforted. Pusha attacked, Kendrick counseled. Pusha went for the kill shot, Kendrick went for the slow bleed. And he did it all in the intro, in the first minute of Meet the Grams. A haunting beat that sounded like death approaching. A calm, measured voice that sounded like a therapist delivering bad news. A direct address to a 6-year-old child.
Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father.
Yes, He said, "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father." He could end the track right there. Like, track could be done. Nah, this don't feel right, bro. I don't want to be a part of this.
Too late. I'm not ready to even go to the next words yet. This is the first bars. Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father.
An exorcism.
Nigga.
This is a declaration. A declaration that says, I don't need to out-rap you. I don't need to outproduce you. I don't need to be louder or harder or more aggressive. I just need to speak directly to your son and ask him if you're responsive. And there's nothing you can do about it. Now let's compare Kendrick's Dear Adonis intro from Meet the Grams to the most legendary diss track openings in the game. I'm talking Pac, Jay, Nas,
It's
Cube,
up there.
Pusha, and then Kendrick just flipped the whole script. Let's break down why this is the most diabolical opening in hip-hop history. No cap. First, let's set the stage. Classic diss tracks, they all got that one rule. You come at your opponent direct. You square up, you call him out, you let the world know who you got smoke with. Pac on hit him up, immediate aggression. Straight up, first off, fuck your bitch and the clique you claim.
Which was crazy.
That's pure rage, bruh. He ain't waste a second. Jay-Z on takeover, cool, calculated, bossed up. ROC, we running this rap shit. He flexing his success, dismissing Nas and Mobb Deep like they beneath him. Nas on ether, mocking laughter. Fuck Jay-Z. Then he goes straight for the jugular, questioning Jay's manhood, his street cred, his whole legacy. Cube on No Vaseline, betrayal turned to anger, exposing NWA and Jerry Heller, calling out business and personal dirt. Pusha T on the story of Adidon, cold, factual, surgical. You are hiding a child. He dropped the blackface photo, exposed secrets, forced Drake to respond. Now all them joints, they set the template. You attack your rival, you go for the head, you make it personal, but you keep it between you and them. Even when Pusha brought up Adonis, he was talking about the kid to get at Drake. But Kendrick, bruh, Kendrick said, nah, I'm not talking about your son. I'm talking to your son.
No.
That's a whole new level of violation.
That is.
That's not just breaking the rules, that's writing a new rule book and burning the old one. Let's talk about the empathy weaponized. Pac weaponized rage.
And hold up. Drop it in the comments. Did Drake ever actually give a good reason for why he did blackface like that, smiling like a little coon? Like, I understand his mom is Jewish and he's from Toronto and he didn't grow up with the culture and never claimed the culture, but why was he in blackface smiling like that? There's no part of me that would ever tuck my blackness in for any person's. I don't care what you trying to do. I don't care what movie you trying to shoot or photo shoot you trying to have. I would never tuck my blackness in that way. And I got white in my family. I got a very extensive family that's multiracial. But I would never tuck my blackness in to do some cool stuff like that. And I hate to sound like Dr. Umar, but that was insane. And did he ever explain that? Drop it in the comments. That's wild.
Jay weaponized success. Nas weaponized wit. Cube weaponized betrayal. Pusha weaponized secrets. Kendrick, he weaponized compassion. I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. He sounded like a guidance counselor, a therapist, a family friend.
Facts.
He not yelling, he not clowning, he not exposing, he's comforting a child. That's horror movie territory, beloved. That's the type of move where you can't even respond with aggression because you just look defensive about your own parenting. You can't flex, you can't bark back, you can't even ignore it because silence look like confirmation.
Right.
That's checkmate in the opening, bruh.
It's crazy.
Now peep the psychological trap. If Drake get mad and respond aggressive, he look like he trying to deflect from the real issue. Are you a good father? If he defend his parenting, he sound insecure like the lady doth protest too much. If he ignore it, the accusation just hang in the air, unchallenged. Every classic diss opening let the opponent fight back. Pac and Biggie, Jay and Nas, Cube and NWA, Pusha and Drake, they all had a lane to respond. Kendrick, he left Drake with no moves. That's diabolical. But wait, it gets deeper. Kendrick reframed the whole conflict. Classic diss intros say, this is a rap battle. This is about who's the better MC, who's got the most street cred, who's the king. Kendrick said, this ain't about us. This is about your relationship with your child. This ain't entertainment, this is real life. I'm not your opponent, I'm worried about your son. He turned a rap beef into a family intervention. Drake came ready for a battle. Kendrick showed up for a parent-teacher conference.
Exorcism.
That's a power move nobody ever seen before.
Parent-teacher conference
And yo,
is crazy.
the tone, that's what make it so unsettling. Pac was screaming, Jay was cool, Nas was laughing, Cube was heated, Pusha was cold. Kendrick, gentle, calm, almost loving. He sound like he about to tuck Adonis in and read him a bedtime story about why his dad ain't responsive. That's what make it hit so hard. Aggression is expected. Tenderness, that's what make you shiver. It's like if a home invader broke in, sat you down, and started explaining why your life choices got you here. That's a violation on a whole different level. And the damage? Permanent. Classic diss intros make you mad, maybe hurt your rep for a minute, but you can bounce back. Dear Adonis plant a question that don't go away. Is Drake responsive to his son? Now every time Drake posts a pic with Adonis, every time he mention his kid, the world gonna be looking for proof. That's not a diss you can answer with a track. That's a question you gotta answer for the rest of your life. That's why it's more diabolical than anything that came before rap history. Kendrick also leveraged old wounds. Pusha exposed Adonis in 2018. Drake responded, "Alright, here's my son." Public said, at least he acknowledged it. Kendrick said, "I'm sorry your father isn't responsive." Now Drake gotta prove he's a good dad forever. That's a trap you can't escape. And yo, Kendrick used silence as violence. Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. Those pauses, that space, that silence, he let the horror breathe.
Yeah.
Classic disses fill space with aggression. Kendrick lets you sit with the pain. You can't hide in the energy, you gotta confront the meaning. The real brilliance? Kendrick's opening is an apology to the child, not an attack on Drake. So if Drake get mad, he look like he mad at someone apologizing to his son. If he defend his parenting, he look insecure. If he attack Kendrick's parenting, he look like he deflecting. There's no good move. That's a checkmate opening, beloved. So let's run it back. Pac's opening was the most aggressive. Jay's was the most confident. Nas's was the most clever. Q's was the most betrayed. Push's was the most revealing. Kendrick's, the most diabolical. He broke every rule, spoke to the child, not the opponent, weaponized empathy, created an unwinnable scenario, reframed the conflict, inverted the power dynamic, delivered it in the most unsettling tone, created permanent damage, leveraged old wounds, used silence as violence, turned defense into self-indictment. Every other classic opening said, "I'm coming for you." Kendrick said, "I'm not coming for you. I'm here for your son." Because you're not. And he said it in the gentlest, most caring voice imaginable, over a funeral beat, 20 minutes after Drake thought he'd won. That's not a battle cry. That's a eulogy, delivered to a child.
Yo, and let me vibe with y'all for a second. Shout out my man over at Mic Drop TV. He back with another banger. And me, I'm your boy Jet Ski G. You already know, baby. So let me tell you a little bit about this. When this intro dropped, even though the beat wasn't necessarily what we wanted, the beat was what we needed. Because with this beat, it gave it just enough space to breathe to the point where with the intro, you had to think about it. Like, it came on eerie. It crept up on you. It was boom, 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 boom. It was almost like you was in a horror film and Michael Myers is walking up the steps and he's checking around and then he finally gets to the closet that Drake is hiding in. Burn on, boom, he opens the closet. And you just start talking to him. Dear Adonis, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that man is your father. And it's like, it just makes you really sit back and look at the situation. Because Pusha T, he touched on it and spoke on it. And it was like more of like a rap. But with Kendrick, when he sat there and spoke on with that intro, it made you look at Drake it made how Pusha T was saying he was hiding the kid. It went into that emotion of the kid actually being hidden. Like, how do you feel about that? How would the kid feel about that? How do I feel about that with somebody doing something like that? And it made us sit back and look at it like, dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. And it was like, damn, am I sorry that he's your father too? And from there, like it just snowballed. And that's why we got to upload on the channel that is this the darkest diss track ever. I'm actually going to link that right here. I'm going to drop another banger right here. Click one of those videos. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all today, you know I love y'all. I'm out. This was surgical.